Hi everyone and welcome back. Now today I want to be talking to you about brushes, basic makeup brushes. Now again, it is a topic that is endless in terms of discussion, but I just want to show you the basic brushes that you might need if you want to get into makeup. So if you want to know for yourself which brushes to use, if you're confused, because there are many out there in the market, or if you want to start doing makeup on your friends, it's always good to know the tools you're going to be using. Now, when it comes to brushes, there are two things you must keep in mind. They come in two types. Synthetic hair, which is basically synthetic fiber, and you'll recognize those because they're quite stiff and they really don't, if you see my hand, once you press them against, they don't really go flat. It's quite sturdy. And they're great because you can use them wet, with creams, with liquids. You can also use them with powders, but they generally go better with liquids and creams. And then you have natural hair brushes, which go something like this, and they are very, very soft. And if you place them on your palm, you see how they go a little flat. So they're quite soft, and they come in squirrel hair, goat hair, horse hair. I mean, brushes come in a variety of hairs, but I really like squirrel hair, which looks something like this. It's super soft, so it goes great on your client's face, on your face. No one's ever going to complain about brushes. Some of the very cheap brushes, they tend to poke you in the face, in the eye, very uncomfortable. So it doesn't mean you have to get super expensive brushes. You can always get cheaper ones, but make sure you get them of a good quality and good softness. Also, the natural hair brushes are great for powders and any makeup that is dry. So save those brushes when you're not going to use liquids or creams. For that, you have your synthetic brushes. They don't get spoiled that way. So keep that in mind. Also, I'll be doing a video very soon on how to wash your brushes, which is a very important thing. A lot of people don't realize they keep a brush for years and they've never washed it. So wash your brushes. If you haven't, please go and wash them. I'll post a video soon. Okay, now let's go through the brushes, the basic brushes that you should have in your kit. What is out there, I'm going to show you. First thing you should have is a foundation brush, and they generally look like this. They can come in colors. I'll show you another one so you have an idea. This one is orange. Some of them are white like this, some of them are black. They come in a variety of colors, but they're mostly synthetic. As you can see, quite sturdy hair. Great for liquids, foundation brush. Okay? Next thing you're gonna have is a concealer brush. And if you look at it, it's exactly like your foundation brush, only smaller. So if you're ever confused, just think of the mother and the baby. Okay? Concealer brush is the same thing as a foundation brush, but smaller. And I'll show you another option. You can see them together. Here's my foundation brush, the bigger one, and my smaller one here is my concealer brush. Next thing you should have in your kit is the ever useful powder brush. They're generally natural hair and they're great because they cover the whole face and of course all the large areas. Another thing you must remember about brushes is don't get confused. If you don't know what brush is for where, just think, when it comes to size, am I going to do a foundation with this brush? Or am I going to use something like this? Obviously something like this. Why? Because of the area that it covers. Likewise, if you want to do an eyeliner, you're obviously not going to choose a brush that looks like this, right? You're going to go with something smaller perhaps. So always think of the area. Don't get confused. Think of the area. The size of the brush should match the size of the area that you want to cover. It's that simple. And there's no hard fast rules when it comes to brushes. You can see a blush brush and use it for contouring. You can use it for powder. There's no hard fast rule. After powder brushes, blush brush. And they're basically just like the foundation concealer brushes. They're a smaller version of powder brushes. See, here's my blush brush. So as you can see, it fits the cheek area quite nicely. You can also use it for contouring. You can also use it on the eye if you want to cover a very large surface. No need to panic, just choose the size of the brush according to the area you're going to work on. So here's a blush brush. You also get blush brushes or powder brushes in an angled, slanted way. As you can see, these are slanted. They're generally for contouring. They go nicely on the angles of the face. You can use them for blush also. Sometimes I use these for powders. Up to you. But here they are. Contouring brushes slash powder brushes slash blush brushes. That's pretty much it when it comes to the face. Now we've covered the face, let's move on to some eye makeup brushes. First brush I always say that you should have is a mascara wand brush, and they look something like this. They're great for, a variety of functions. You can comb your eyebrows. Here, there's an out of place hair I'm putting into place. You can remove excess mascara if you're applying it like this. If you have glitter on your face, you can quickly pick it up with your mascara wand. Endless uses, always good to have. Next brush, which is an absolute must, is a round blender brush, and they look something like this, and they're round in nature, generally very soft, and they are natural hair. This one is by Inglot. 217 by MAC is obviously again one of the best choices you can purchase, and it's a white brush with goat hair. This one is by Inglot, super soft, and they're great for a multitude of uses, but mostly for eye area. You can cover the crease, as you see. You can work on slightly more smaller areas just by using it. So here, great brush. You can blend, you can apply color, you can mix colors in terms of eyeshadows. Always have a round eye makeup brush in your kit. Next brush, which is great and again a must have in terms of eye makeup, is an angular brush, slanted. As you can see, these actually resemble, well, not in terms of size, but in terms of the slant, the angle. See this contouring brush or this angular brush, which is a big version of that? Well, this is the tiny small version, and it's great for filling the eyebrows, as you can see. It's great for applying eyeshadow or any color to your lash line. You can even apply any color inside the waterline with these. You can create a false crease with it and just blend. You can also work on your cupid's bow or the lip line area. Great brush to have. Again, another brush which is a must-have, and I'm sure you'll need it for your eye makeup, is the eyeliner brush. Now these can get a little tricky because they come in a variety of combinations in terms of angles. Some are round, some are short, some are long, some are pointy. But really it is about how you feel with them and how you apply your makeup with them. I find, for example, that these ones, as you can see, the long pointy ones, once you place them, they go flat. So if you're trying to do a very clean line on your eyeliner, it just might go everywhere. So I like a sturdier brush. For that reason, I prefer these tiny bit ones, if you can see in the camera. They really are sturdier, and they can cover the inside of the eye, waterline, lash line, pretty much anywhere. These are also great if you have any pimple. So you might just take some concealer and, let's say, work on that spot. So great brushes to have. If you're done with your eyelining, you can always have, see, in terms of eye makeup brushes, you can have tons of them. I always like to have a bunch. You can get some of these are smaller ones. Unlike the rounded ones for blending, these are used to apply pigments or apply colors to localized areas. So let's say I have a color and I just want to have it here in the center. This brush is great for that. As you can see, it just covers that area nicely. It also can apply pigment on the brow bone, the inner corner. So great brushes. Same thing with this. This is slightly slanted, good for shading, under eye color maybe, lash line, anywhere. And lastly, we wouldn't be complete without your lip brush. Again, lip brushes, I say you don't have to spend a lot of money on them. I sometimes buy these squarish art brushes for less than $1, and they can go anywhere. You can use them on the lips. I like them because they give you a clean line, and of course they're very cheap. You also get these pointy ones, again, it depends. If you have big lips, go for a bigger lip brush like this. If you have smaller ones, they do come in smaller versions. Up to you. If you want to have an assortment, great. If you just want to stick to one that works for you. So I hope this has answered some of your questions about brushes, what they're for, what brush do you use where. I mean, it's always one of those things that people wonder about. If you have any questions, don't forget to drop in a comment. I will be doing more videos on brushes in the future when we get to more advanced makeup techniques also, and the brushes that go with them. And again, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, share it with your friends, and do drop by any comments.